Hi, my beautiful artists. I hope you all are having a beautiful day. May it continue to be a beautiful day and may it just continue to get better and better. So, as the days progress, as time is progressing, as days turn to weeks and weeks turn into months, I want you to understand that as we're learning this journey of us, this art of us, there's going to be things that you can and cannot change. Some of the scenarios are just uncontrollable. They're uncontrollable factors, and you have to learn to be okay with them. You have to learn to ride through them. And this is what we, I guess, would typically call everyday challenges. And the reason I say this is because, for example, if you get up in the morning, you know you have to go to work, and all of a sudden it starts raining. That's an uncontrollable factor. That's something that you cannot control. With that being said, what are you doing to prepare for it? Do you have an umbrella? Do you decide that you're going to heat up your car faster? Do you decide that you're going to wear a jacket? Do you decide that you're going to wear rain boots? Things like that. Things of that nature. So, with that being said, there's going to be uncontrollable X factors that happen, like I said, on a day-to-day basis, maybe on a weekly basis, maybe on a monthly basis, whatever that looks like for you. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with these X factors happening uncontrollably. And you have to learn to be okay with them. Because in those moments, that's the key point to you understanding how you're changing, understanding how the perspective is coming all together, and how you're starting to see things differently. Because you could go from, oh my God, it's raining. Why is it raining? Why is this happening? Blah, 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 blah. To, oh, looks like it just decided to start pouring. Let me go grab my jacket. Let me take extra 10 minutes to get down the road just because I want to be there on time instead of rushing. Things of that nature. So that's how you start changing your perspective, little things at a time. And to change your mindset, it's not always easy to change perspective. However, however, these are little key points. These are little things that you can start to acknowledge within yourself and within the exterior of what's going on in your life in order for you to start rerouting that narrative. Life is life. It's going to do what it needs to do for you to understand, for you to start becoming a problem solver. And I think that's a huge key point. I think that's a huge realization when it comes to changing mindset and perspective. It's not about looking at the issue and saying it's a problem. It's about looking at the scenario in front of you and saying, how can I act or react differently? Because you can act one way, like the rain scenario. You can be really pissed off in the moment, same time, still react in a way where you're just going to be like, well, let me take 2 steps back. Let me get myself together because I can't control the weather. I can't control that it decided to pour at last minute, whether the weather told me or not. Acting and reacting are two different things. However, if you can't control these X factors, don't overwhelm yourself. Don't put yourself in a situation where you are going to react in a negative way and act in a negative way. No. Because in order to change your perspective, you have to look at the situation and start acting and reacting differently to it. Like I said, it's okay at first to start for your action to not match your reaction. It is okay. That's how you start to mold and change the perspective. Eventually, like I said, you'll get to the point where you're going to look at the scenario on hand, question it, and yet still move with so much positivity and grace. So it's possible, and you will get there. It does take time. You just have to start looking at the small little scenarios, and every scenario is going to be different for everybody. I'm just going to give you another quick example. I think that's what also helps, if you actually start looking at everyday scenarios and start to really break them down. For example, you're leaving work and you completely forgot that you have to get gas. You have enough to go to the gas station. Or you can go home and say, F that, I'll just get gas tomorrow morning. It sounds like little dumb stuff. But these are the small things that you start to change, and you start to see the difference in how you react and act. This is how you change perspectives. Yes, I can go home. I have enough to get home, or I have enough to get to the gas station. I even have enough to get home and go to the gas station in the morning. However, I'm going to be mad as hell in the morning knowing that I have to go to the gas station, especially if I wake up 15 minutes earlier just to go to the damn gas station. So, it's perspective. Get the freaking gas right after work. Get it right after work, so that way you're not mad at yourself in the morning for having to do an extra stop when you could have gotten it done the day before. These are really life scenarios, real life scenarios. And I know, like I said, they sound very small. They sound like very tiny, minuscule, tedious things. However, in order to change your perspective, you have to start with the small things. You have to start with the everyday things. Start breaking it down and start seeing how you can start acting and reacting differently to the scenarios. Okay, my beautiful artists. Again, don't worry about the stuff that you can't control. Worry about the things that you can control. You can't control the rain, but you can go control when you go get gas in your car. I hope that you guys can truly understand some things you're going to be able to control. Some things you're not going to be able to control. However, you can always control how you act and react to these scenarios. My beautiful artists, continue creating your art. Continue to love the art of you. I love you guys. Bye.